Back at the Senate now, where lawmakers have approved the 2025 to 2027 medium-term expenditure framework and fiscal strategy paper following the consideration of a report by its Committee on Finance. Tijesu Adeoye has the details now.
Chairman of the Committee on Finance presents a report of its findings on the 2025 to 2027 medium-term expenditure framework and fiscal strategy paper. The chairman of the committee, Senator Sani Musa, says the report is the outcome of a thorough review of submissions by ministries, departments and agencies of government.
We don't have any official exchange rate pricing. Prices of foreign exchange is determined by the market. So when we pegged our budget at 1,400, any excess above 1,400 will be utilized to at least pay our domestic or foreign loans to reduce our loan and liabilities.
After the presentation, other senators talked about the projections and also offered advice to government on potential areas to focus on that will ensure economic prosperity and stability.
Going by the plan put together by this administration will work. I can assure us that all these projections can actually materialize.
It is very key that we look at food for voucher so that 30 million Nigeria can be taken away from the tax net. We are not printing new money. All we are saying is that collapse palliative accounts. In fact, the two senators here are the best to distribute voucher for food in their various senatorial districts.
If you give a waiver to someone or a company that is involved in agriculture, for example, whatever you are losing by giving out that waiver will eventually be recovered over and above when that company goes into production.
Because of the futuristic nature of the projections and the very lofty ideas that have informed the reform process, one will find it very difficult to really make substantive contributions unless these reforms mature and we start seeing, positive improvements. But we have to also hedge our bets.
So I would like a report from almost all the committees to be submitted by January 31st of the activities so far, so that we know where they have difficulties and then we'll rise to the occasion. The powers are there, the Constitution backs us. So I don't see where any MD or any head of any agency will refuse to comply.
The revenue and expenditure framework upon which the 2025 budget is predicated puts the oil benchmark price at $75 per barrel with an exchange rate of 1,400 naira to a dollar, and projected inflation rate stands at 15.75% with a GDP growth rate at 4.6%. With these projections in the 2025 to 2027 medium-term expenditure framework and fiscal strategy paper, the lawmakers are convinced that this fiscal document is achievable and has the potential to guarantee economic stability if successfully implemented, as well as provide a solid foundation for the proposed 2025 budget. Tijesu Adeoye, TVC News, Abuja.
Also, the Senate has confirmed President Bola Tinubu's appointment of Lieutenant General Olufemi Oluyede as the Chief of Army Staff. The confirmation by the upper legislative chamber comes after the review of a report by the Senate Committee on the Army led by Abdulaziz Yaradua. Senator Yaradua confirmed that Lieutenant General Oluyede is highly qualified and met all the necessary criteria for the position.
The Senate Committee on Nigerian Army, having diligently and meticulously conducted the screening of the nominee according to the Constitution and being satisfied with his conduct, competence, experience, and educational qualification, hereby recommend to the Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as follows: that Lieutenant General Olufemi Olatubosun Oluyede be confirmed as the Chief of Army Staff, having successfully undergone the screening process of this committee.
Distinguished colleagues,
Will the Senate confirm the nomination of Lieutenant General Olufemi Olatunbosun Oluide for appointment as Chief of Army Staff? Those in support of the confirmation say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The nomination of Lieutenant General Olufemi Olatunbosun Oluide is hereby confirmed as Chief of Army Staff.